Welcome to Pario magazine, where I chat with individuals who have a desire to create. Today, I am joined by a singer-songwriter who is getting into the festive spirit with her new song, Sing Together on Christmas. Welcome to Pario magazine, Monique Angele.
Thanks so much. Thanks for having me.
My pleasure. So we're here today to chat about your journey through the world of music and the new Christmas single. Before we dive into that, though, do you want to give our audience a brief introduction as to who Monique is away from the music studio?
Yeah, sure. So I guess I call myself an operatic piano pop singer-songwriter. So I do basically my songs are a bit kind of pop classical vibe to it, like Kate Bush style. Um, I've studied music at university and throughout my childhood, pretty much. I've done a lot of dance as well. Um, Yeah, what I like to do outside of the studio, I love seeing friends, I love socializing, I love hiking, dancing. Yeah, I'm trying to think of everything else. Yeah, I love watching films as well. So I'm really into the art scene, I would say, like even outside of creating music and performing music. I
Okay.
love seeing live shows. Yeah.
Yep. Drawing all different influences into your own creative passions.
Yeah, yeah, exactly, exactly. I do love, nature and animals as well, and I actually kind of get a lot of my inspiration from nature or traveling, going to different places. Yeah.
Okay. So how did you first discover this passion for music?
Um, I guess as a kid, like my parents were pretty artsy, I would say, so they got me into piano lessons at first, and then I started liking it. I actually was into dance first. I preferred dancing, to be honest, and then it kind of trickled into piano. Um, yeah, and then I just kept going with the music pretty much.
Okay. So
Mhm.
who were some of the earliest musical inspirations and how have those evolved over the years?
Yeah, I guess the first inspirations came from classical music, so a lot of like classical composers, I guess, because I'm trained in that. I guess naturally, I would just kind of be influenced by those kind of like chord structures and like how to write music. But I've also been a massive fan. The Beatles were probably the first like popular band that I got into. That was a really big influence. And then Queen, I started loving Queen. So all of that kind of 70s rock was like a really big influence on me. Um, Elton John, Billy Joel. Um, yeah, and then I guess as I started like listening to all genres of music, that like I would say every genre has influenced me in some way, whether it be like even hip hop, rock. I'm really into the rock scene. I would say that's probably my favorite genre, like heavy metal.
Okay.
Um, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Surprising.
Yes, I love Tool. I love Haken, Coheed and Cambria. So, to me, that's kind of like they also have a bit of classical influence, in my opinion, just because they're very virtuosic usually and kind of complicated um, rhythms and a lot of stuff going on. So, yeah, I get influenced by that. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like every genre now kind of gives me ideas. Yeah.
Okay. Classical music is sort of a bit of a like underappreciated style of music, I think, for sort of younger people. How did you get into that track with music?
Yeah, I guess because when I was a kid, I was introduced into piano lessons, and usually, especially in Canada, they introduce you to classical songs pretty much. You start kind of learning like different levels, like different difficulties of like piano. So it would be like some Beethoven, Mozart songs, stuff like that. And so I guess over the years, like I really learned to appreciate like how complex that music is and how awesome it can be and how difficult it is too. It's like it takes a lot of years to master it, and also in like opera as well. Like that's a very intense way of singing. Yeah, so I guess I always kind of had an appreciation when I first started, even as a kid, and then from there, that's when kind of I got more into different genres. Like, yeah.
Okay.
hmm
So with your music, do you feel that you're kind of trying to introduce people to that classical style, but then bringing in those other influences that you have to make it a bit more accessible?
Yeah, that's a good question. I don't think I'm kind of trying to do that. I guess it's just naturally coming out. Like I would say my earlier music, so like my debut EP, that's I would say probably the most classical sound out of all the other ones. Like I think I'm leaning more towards that kind of pop vibe a bit more. Um, but yeah, I guess I don't really think about what people wanna hear. I
Mhm.
just kinda, like, maybe write it, and then I'm like, "Okay, if somebody likes it, cool. If they don't, whatever." But I think naturally just that classical element's kind of always there. Um, and then yeah, but I think the more that I'm experimenting with, like, songwriting, the more different it's kind of sounding as well. Yeah.
Okay. So as
Mhm.
we mentioned, you're about to release a new Christmas single called Sing
Mhm.
Together on Christmas. Where did the inspiration for that particular song come from?
Yeah, so, like, my mom has always wanted me to write a Christmas song, like, for years, and I never did it until, like, kind of recently, just because, I don't know, like, I love Christmas songs and I love the whole holiday aspect to it, but I guess it just wasn't on the top of my list. So I was like, "Okay, eventually I'll write one." And then, it actually happened I was writing it when we were in one of those lockdowns in Melbourne. I think it was like the first really like long one, the crazy long one. And and then I was like, yeah, and then Christmas was kind of coming about and I remember that was kind of the time when we might be like opening up more and that was kind of like a sign of like hope. And so that's when I sort of wrote it. And for some reason I just thought, yeah, this is probably maybe a good time to write a Christmas song because it's kind of bringing a bit of joy. Um People are getting a bit more hopeful and just feeling a bit better. So that's when I wrote it. And I guess like music inspiration wise, I honestly don't remember. I think it just kind of came out just like the lyrics and then I just yeah, wrote it from there.
And
hmm
given that the song was sort of written during that lockdown period, and now we're finally able to sort of get back and have big, proper family Christmases, do you feel the
hmm
song is going to have more significance than perhaps it would have any other year?
Yeah, maybe maybe I think I think in a way the with the lyrics, I think you can kind of play it any time of year because I feel like maybe sometimes some people have a really hard year or they're just not feeling great, and it's a time when most people are a bit nicer to each other, um, kind of appreciate one another a bit more. It's about like family time, friend time. So, yeah, I think it can be relatable to any Christmas year, really. hmm
And given that the song was written and encouraged by your mum, how did you
hmm
sort of react? How did she react to the song?
Yeah, she loved it. Yeah. I mean, she's a big Christmas fan, so she loves anything Christmas, but yeah, she was very, very happy about it. Yeah.
And then obviously the Christmas songs aren't the only things you make. What else is coming up for you in 2022?
Yeah. So I'm gonna have some new music, primarily singles coming out in the next while. Um, Again, I guess I'm always evolving with the songwriting, so I think these ones, they're a bit on more on the catchy side, so people might hum to it or remember the melody. So yeah, I'm pretty excited for these ones. I also have some cool music videos with them coming up too. So yeah.
Okay. And then I guess hopefully some live shows and things as well later in the year.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I've been doing a few shows here in Canada while I've been here, but I would love to do some more international shows as well. That's the plan, just kind of getting into that more.
Alrighty.
Mhm.
So finally, where is the best place for people to support you and track your creative journey moving forward?
Yeah. You can check me out on my website, moniqueangele.com. I'm on Spotify under Monique Angele, YouTube, um, where else? Facebook, Instagram, Twitter,
Yep.
TikTok, all those kind of things. If you want to kind of get a bit more, on a personal level, people can sign up to my email list. So that's also on my website. You can just sign up and you'll get some more kind of more personal insights, I guess, on what I'm doing. And yeah.
Okay. Website sounds like it's the
Yeah,
central
website's
hub,
kind of,
easiest place to
yeah.
go.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Alrighty, perfect. Thank you so much for taking the time to chat with me, and good luck with the release, and have a happy Christmas.
Thanks so much. You too. Have a great Christmas. Thank you.